What's going on YouTube? Manifest Mitchell here today with a video about how I use credit cards as a side hustle. You'd be surprised about actually how much free money you can get just from swiping plastic as opposed to paying with cash or a debit card. Now the way that I look at cashback or miles or points that you receive from spending on certain categories is it's basically like a discount on things that you were going to buy anyway. Just because I'm using these credit cards as my payment method rather than cash or a debit card, it's basically just like getting percentages off of items. I want to start out with a couple of disclaimers. The first one being, make sure that whatever you're buying with your credit cards that you're going to buy anyway. Don't go out for a crazy nice steak dinner just because you're getting 4% cash back on dining. You know, use these for your everyday purchases that you're already going to buy anyway. The second one being, make sure you're financially in a good place to start this. Make sure that you don't have any outstanding debt or that you don't owe anybody money or anything that could cause you to be late on a payment for these credit cards. The first way that I've used credit cards as a side hustle is the sign-up bonuses, and this is actually the most money that I have made over the long term with these credit cards. Most cards will give you a one-time bonus for hitting a minimum spend within a certain time period. For example, this Capital One Spark Business card gave me $500 for meeting the minimum spend of $4,500 within the first 3 months. All that I did to meet this was I paid for the home that I was living in, I paid for all of our rent on the card and everybody gave me cash, and then I also paid for my girlfriend's home that she was living in at the time. I paid for her rent on the card and everybody else gave me cash as well. Now I did incur, I think it was a $60 fee with the first home, and then the second home I think I incurred a $40 fee for that. However, since this card offers 2% cash back on all of your purchases, I ended up coming like $490 ahead just by doing those two things. Another great minimum spend is the Wells Fargo Cashwise Visa card. That is a $200 credit for the first $1,000 that you spend in the first 3 months. The last one that I used was the Visa card. It was a $100 credit for the first $500 that you spent in the first 3 months. Tons of other cards also offer sign-up bonuses in the form of miles or airline points, like Southwest and Chase will give you a pretty significant number of miles, typically valued between $400 to $600 for meeting a relatively easy minimum spend within the first couple of months. Each card has their own initial sign-up bonus, so make sure to check those out. A lot of cards also offer cash back matching on the first year that you use the card, so if you have, $300 in total cash back that you earned for that year, they will actually match that and give you another $300 in cash back. A couple other perks that other cards offer is 0% APR or APY in the first 12 months of a billing cycle. Again, I don't recommend using credit cards unless you can pay them off immediately with no financial strain on yourself, but God forbid you can't pay the balance, they will give you a 0% interest rate. Lastly, most cards, if they do have an annual fee, which you definitely want to watch out for, they will waive that within the first year of you opening the card. The second way to use credit cards as a side hustle, and the most common way that people think of, is using the cards for their points or cashback miles program. So for example, just personally, I'm getting 4% cashback on all of my gas, 4% cashback on all of my dining, any kind of also travel or airfare, I'm getting 3% cash back on with the Uber card. The Amex Blue Cash, which I don't have with me at the moment, gives me 3% cash back on groceries. And then with the Capital One Spark Business card, I'm getting 2% cash back on everything else. Another great way to use these points and cash back, which my friends give me a lot of shit for, is using your card on large purchases like Uber rides or dinners or anything that everybody's sharing, and then just having them give you cash or Venmo or PayPal because you're getting cash back on all of their purchases. I know it sounds silly, but doing this just really quick thing takes 10-20 seconds, really adds up in the cash back over time. Some other perks and benefits that you can use as a side hustle with credit cards is that a lot of these travel cards will work with airlines and hotels to give you access to airport lounges, TSA pre-check. They give you first access to special fares and booking and baggage fees and things like that. Also, some of the cards will actually give you access by invite only to special events with the higher premium cards. Some other cards will also give you a $600 of cell phone theft protection plan if you pay your cell phone bill with that card. The last little benefit that a lot of these cards offer is that you have no foreign transaction fees when you use your card overseas. I know I gave a couple of disclaimers in the beginning, but just a couple things that you want to watch out for when you're using these credit cards. The main one being annual fees. You know, it'll actually say in the statement in the application that you have an X dollar annual fee. A lot of times that is waived within the first year. So if you want to use that card for a year and then cancel it, there's nothing wrong with that and you'll avoid the annual fee. Again, you want to make sure that you're using these cards on things that you would normally buy and not using these cards just because they give you a small percentage of cash back. Another thing to watch out for is other cards having higher cash back and miles. For example, I get 3% on dining with the Costco City Cash card. However, the Uber Visa card actually gives me 4% on dining. So I want to make sure to use that one instead of the City card. Lastly, I know this sounds kind of stupid, but you want to make sure that you're signing up with a legitimate bank or institution. There are some companies that are out there to scam you. They'll take your social security number or gather your information and use that to steal your identity. However, I've had great luck with that because I've used all well-known kind of corporate higher-end cards. But don't worry, these are very few and far between. You just want to make sure to protect your information against any kind of identity theft. Thanks again for watching, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know, what credit cards you're using and you have, how much money you've made with these sign-up bonuses or cashback. And then if there is a card that I need to get to utilize the most percentage of cashback or best sign-up bonuses, definitely let me know. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I will catch y'all next time.